Hello boys and girls. Today we're talking about a very silly little monkey named Curious George from the book by H.A. Rey. Now, why is George called curious? Because he can't stop poking his nose into everything. He wants to touch, taste and try everything he sees. The story begins in Africa, where George lives happily swinging in the trees. But then along comes the man with the yellow hat. He takes George on a boat to the big city. George is excited. So many new things to explore. But, that's also when the trouble starts. First, George decides to try out the telephone. Does he call his grandma? No. He accidentally calls the fire department. Suddenly, firemen rush in, thinking there's an emergency. Poor George gets taken away. Later, George tries to fly like the birds by holding onto balloons. And guess what? He actually floats up into the sky. Imagine looking out your window and seeing a monkey drifting by on balloons. Wouldn't that be a sight? But don't worry, George isn't left floating forever. The man with the yellow hat rescues him, and in the end, George gets a brand new home at the zoo. Even though George gets into trouble, people love him because he's curious, adventurous, and a little bit silly. The story teaches us something too. Being curious is great, but you also have to be careful. George reminds us that curiosity can lead to fun discoveries, but also a few messes along the way. So here's my question for you. If you were George for a day, what's the first thing you would get curious about and try?